Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So, for those who do not know, every now and then I get dreams, and I have come to understand and accept that these dreams are actually communication from the higher realms. So, lately I dreamt that I was walking downtown, and right above me was the early evening sky. And sprawled all over the sky were the different constellations, and they were very clear. Now, the thing about this setting was that the sky was very close. It was around 2 or 3 meters just above me. Now, onto my left, at the other side of the road, the time of day was different. So over there, it was very early morning. Okay. So across the road too, there were just structures, 1 or 2 story buildings. So right across me was a 2 story building. And right above it was a section of a planet. So it was just an arc like that. And I sensed that it was really a massive planet. Well, because the arc was not very curved. So if you trace the circle, you would have an idea of how massive it is. So there, I continued to gaze at the planet. It struck me that that planet was actually Earth. Okay, so how it looked like was how planet Earth actually looks like when you look at it from the galaxy, from outer space. So there. Now I have been sitting with this dream for quite some time, and at the moment I have been given three interpretations for this dream. Now the first interpretation would be that of mirroring. So around this time, everything that we're doing, all our actions, our decisions, our thoughts, and the things that we throw out there are being reflected back to us. We can also say that we are being called to reflect upon our actions, because I am given that our actions right now are really critical, and they are affecting our immediate future, and it's the effects or the consequences are almost instantaneous. That's what I have been given that the planet Earth was very close. So there. The second interpretation would be that of the promise of a new Earth. Now, I don't know if you've encountered this concept, the concept of a new Earth. There are videos out there, you might want to check them. But New Earth is also mentioned in the Bible. So in Revelations chapter 21, verses 1 and 4. So let me just read this to you. Revelations 21:1 states, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea." Verse 4 says, "He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away." Now, in Isaiah 65, verse 17, it states, "See, I will create new heavens and a new earth. The former things will not be remembered, nor will they come to mind." Now, we are all aware of what's happening around the world right now, the chaos, the wars, and a lot of people are really suffering. This destruction is almost unimaginable, and suffering itself is almost unimaginable. We're going through so many things that we haven't gone through in the past. There now, on a personal note, since I'm just addressing you here as, person to person, if you happen to be going through it right now, if there are struggles that are very hard to overcome if you're fighting internal or external battles. And despite your best efforts, nothing is happening. Just know that New Earth is very close. Okay, it's a promise from the divine. So, yes, one of these days, you're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. It is written, as they say. So there's no better confirmation than that. Okay, just keep the hope. Just continue to follow your truth, speak your truth, and listen to the whispers of your inner self. We are being guided at this time. So there. Now the third interpretation, as I have come to, I have stumbled upon several videos that talk about a timeline split. Timeline split is like living two realities. So in my dream, I was in the old earth, and then there was another earth. The other earth, by the way, looked very new. It was covered in mist, even, and it didn't seem like it was exploited at all. It was brand new. So there, it is said, you might want to check the videos on the timeline split. It is said that we are in this period right now, and humanity at present is being guided by invisible hands. It depends which one we listen to one of two paths. Okay, one path is said to be cloaked in shadow or darkness for the lost, how they say it, and the other path is cloaked in light, although it's not an easy path to tread. So there again, if you're being tested right now, just hang in there. So there. Now the path of that's cloaked in shadow is not necessarily for those who are bad or evil. It's just that some people who are tending toward this path would be constantly living in fear, in lies, in manipulation, even vanity, even confusion and anger. So and and it's like, yeah, sometimes they live in a temporary state of happiness, like grappling with anything that would make them happy, but then it's not substantial and it won't actually last because it's external. So there. So that's one path. Now the other path is, it's difficult as they say, but it is one where people choose to live in courage over fear, love over judgment. People choose to live their truth also. So despite the obstacles, despite opposition, despite everything that they might have to deal with along the way. And when we try to live in a state of positivity and optimism, no matter how difficult our circumstances are, doesn't mean that we don't, sometimes give in when we really feel disappointed or depressed or frustrated or broken. But then this path is headed toward a promise. Okay, so we're headed for a new earth. Now, it is also said that, since people right now are choosing with every decision, even minor decisions, to choosing which path they tend to be walking on, there would come a time when, people would be drifting from each other without understanding why. So there, but as with the stars in my dream, which were right above, and they were very close, and the constellations were perfectly sprawled on all over the sky, that's exactly why we are being called to elevate, you know um get away from the things that bind us, the things that almost hypnotize us into a fake way of living a good life. So there. So I guess that's all I have right now. You might have your own personal interpretations of the dream. Just take it as you would. And oh, by the way, also 2 days after my dream, my son also had a dream of planets also. So that was very significant and coincidental. And well, I'm going to make another video on that. So that's it for now. This is just me, Alvie, saying find your strength, find your peace, respect each other, and stay with God, Source, the divine, the higher forces, heaven, whatever you consider God to be. He loves you, and take care.